Chosen one, listen closely. While you've been questioning why life feels so heavy, why your mind won't rest, why certain people suddenly turned cold, there's a war raging in the spiritual realm that you cannot see with your physical eyes. And here's what they don't want you to know: the demons assigned to destroy you are losing badly. Every attack they've launched has backfired. Every trap they've set has collapsed. You're not struggling because you're weak. You're struggling because you're winning. They tried to isolate you, but instead, they activated your power. The demons knew that if they could cut you off from certain people, drain your energy through toxic relationships, and make you feel completely alone, you'd give up on your purpose. So they whispered lies into the ears of those closest to you. They twisted your words, planted seeds of doubt, turned friends into strangers overnight. You watched relationships you thought were solid crumble without explanation. It hurt. It confused you. But here's the truth: the enemy didn't calculate. Isolation wasn't your punishment, it was your preparation. God removed every distraction, every energy vampire, every fake connection so you could finally hear His voice clearly. The loneliness you felt was actually divine focus. And now, you're operating at a frequency so high that only those aligned with your destiny can even perceive you. The demons lost that battle the moment they pushed you into solitude, because that's exactly where you met your true self. They attacked your mind, but your spirit refused to break. You know those intrusive thoughts that came out of nowhere? The sudden waves of anxiety, the overwhelming fear, the voice telling you that you're not good enough, that you'll never make it, that everyone else has it figured out except you? That wasn't you. That was demonic warfare aimed directly at your mental fortress. They know that if they can corrupt your thoughts, they can corrupt your actions. So they sent every negative frequency, every dark whisper, every toxic narrative straight into your consciousness. There were nights you couldn't sleep, mornings you couldn't get out of bed, moments where you questioned your own sanity. But even in your darkest mental battles, something inside you refused to surrender. That's your divine spark, chosen one. That's the part of you that's connected to the Creator, and no demonic force can extinguish it. Every time you choose to pray instead of panic, every time you choose gratitude over despair, you win another battle in the invisible war. Your mind is becoming a weapon they can no longer penetrate. They sent people to sabotage your progress, but those people expose themselves. This is where it gets strategic. The enemy can't fight you directly because your light is too powerful, so they use people as vessels. Suddenly, someone you trusted started spreading rumors. A colleague began stealing your ideas. A family member turned everyone against you for no logical reason. These weren't random acts of jealousy or misunderstanding. These were calculated spiritual attacks using human agents. And it devastated you at first. You tried to defend yourself, explain your truth, fix what was broken. But then something supernatural happened. The universe began revealing its true nature to everyone watching. The lies they told started contradicting each other. Their own words became their prison. People who once believed them started seeing through the facade. You didn't have to fight back, chosen one. God fought for you while you stayed silent. The demons lost this battle because they underestimated divine justice. Every setup became a setup for your enemy's own downfall. They attacked your health, but your body is regenerating with divine energy. How many times did your body just give out on you recently? Unexplained exhaustion, random pains, illnesses that doctors couldn't fully diagnose, energy so low you could barely function? The enemy knows that if they can weaken your physical vessel, they can delay your mission. So they launched full-scale assaults on your health, trying to make you believe your body was failing you, that you were aging too fast, breaking down too soon. You spent money on doctors, remedies, desperate for answers. But here's what happened in the spiritual realm while you were resting. God was rebuilding you from the cellular level up. Every moment you chose rest over hustle, every time you listened to your body instead of pushing through pain, you were actually allowing divine restoration. Your body is now rejecting low vibrational foods, toxic environments, and draining situations automatically. The demons lost because your physical form is becoming a temple they can no longer infiltrate. You're not getting weaker, chosen one. You're being reconstructed into something indestructible. They tried to destroy your finances, but abundance is hunting you down. Money got weird, didn't it? Opportunities that seemed guaranteed fell through. Income streams dried up without warning. Unexpected expenses appeared out of nowhere, draining every reserve you had built. You started questioning your worth, your abilities, your business sense. The enemy wanted you dependent, desperate, and defeated through financial pressure. Because when you're worried about survival, you can't focus on your purpose. They thought poverty would humble you into submission. But what they didn't know is that you're a child of the Most High, and children of God don't beg for crumbs. They own the whole table. While you were trusting God through the drought, He was repositioning you for wealth that doesn't come from human systems. The job offers that ghosted you were protecting you from dead-end positions. The clients who disappeared were making room for customers who will pay you triple. Every financial setback was actually a divine redirection. The demons lost this battle because they made you so uncomfortable with lack that you'll never settle for less than overflow again. They planted seeds of doubt in your purpose, but your calling just got louder. Remember when you used to be so sure about what you were meant to do? You could feel it in your bones, that specific mission only you could fulfill. Then suddenly, doubt crept in. You started seeing others succeed in your field and thought maybe you weren't special after all. Maybe you misheard God. Maybe you were being delusional about your gift. That doubt wasn't organic, chosen one. It was implanted by demonic forces who know exactly what you're capable of and are terrified of the day you fully step into it. They need you to be confused about your purpose, because a person who knows their calling is unstoppable. So they used comparison, timing, and discouragement as weapons. But here's what happened while you were doubting. Your gifts were maturing in the shadows. Your message was being refined through the silence. Your purpose was getting clearer with every closed door. Now, when you speak about what you're called to do, there's an authority in your voice that wasn't there before. The demons lost because the delay they caused actually made you more qualified, more hungry, and more dangerous to their kingdom. They tried to keep you distracted, but you're seeing through every illusion. Netflix binges, social media rabbit holes, mindless scrolling, drama that isn't yours, other people's problems becoming your problems. All of it was a demonic strategy to waste your time. Because time is the one thing you can never get back, and the enemy knows that a distracted chosen one is a neutralized chosen one. They dangled every shiny object in front of you, every meaningless controversy, every addictive behavior that promised comfort but delivered numbness. And for a while it worked. You lost hours, days, maybe even months to distractions you can't even remember now. But something shifted recently, didn't it? You started feeling physically sick when you wasted time. Your spirit started rejecting low-frequency content. Your intuition started screaming at you to log off, turn it off, walk away. That's divine intervention breaking the spell of distraction. You're waking up to how precious your time actually is. The demons lost this battle because you're no longer available for their entertainment. Every minute you reclaim is a minute invested in your destiny. They weaponized your past, but your testimony is now your superpower. They kept bringing up your old mistakes, didn't they? Every time you tried to move forward, there was that voice reminding you of who you used to be, what you used to do, the version of yourself you've already outgrown. Demonic forces love using your past as ammunition because shame is one of their most effective chains. They whispered that you're a fraud for talking about growth when you used to be broken. They convinced you that people would reject you if they knew your full story. So you hid parts of yourself, dimmed your light, stayed quiet about your transformation. But God had a different plan. He took every shameful chapter and turned it into a chapter of redemption. The addiction you overcame? That's going to save someone still struggling. The betrayal you survived? That's going to give someone hope to leave their toxic situation. The rock bottom you hit? That's the foundation for your greatest comeback. The demons lost because they gave you the exact story that makes you relatable, powerful, and impossible to discount. Your mess became your message, and they can't take that back. They sent spiritual attacks while you slept, but your dreams are becoming prophetic. You've been having the strangest nights, haven't you? Nightmares that feel too real, sleep paralysis, waking up exhausted even after a full night's rest, and dreams where you're being chased or attacked by shadowy figures you can't quite see. The spiritual realm is most active when your conscious mind is at rest, and demons know this. They've been trying to torment you in your sleep, plant fear in your subconscious, and drain your energy before you even start your day. They wanted your nights to be so terrifying that you dread going to sleep, keeping you in a constant state of exhaustion. But something powerful has been happening in that vulnerable state. God has been giving you downloads, visions, and warnings through your dreams. You're starting to dream about things before they happen. You're receiving strategies and solutions while you sleep. Your nightmares are transforming into prophetic experiences that prepare you for battles ahead. The demons lost because the very realm they tried to use against you is now your direct hotline to heaven. Your sleep is no longer their playground, it's your training ground. They thought breaking you down would end you, but it only revealed what you're made of. This is the final piece they miscalculated, chosen one. Every attack, every betrayal, every loss, every moment of despair, they were all designed with one goal: to make you quit, to make you believe that life wasn't worth the fight, that your purpose wasn't worth the pain, that your presence didn't matter. They piled on the pressure from every angle, assuming that eventually, you'd just collapse under the weight. And you came close, didn't you? There were moments where giving up felt like the only logical option. But here's what the demonic realm didn't understand about you. You're not made of flesh alone. You're made of stardust and divine breath. You're made of the same power that spoke galaxies into existence. Every time they broke you down, they were actually stripping away everything that wasn't truly you. The people-pleasing, the fake personas, the limiting beliefs, the inherited trauma. What's left standing now is the purest, most authentic version of who you were always meant to be. The demons lost the war because they built their strategy on a lie. They thought you were breakable, but you're not breakable, chosen one. You're unbreakable, and now that you know what you can survive, there's nothing in this realm or any other that can stop what's coming for you. Your victory was never in question. It was always guaranteed. They turned your gifts into burdens, but now you're weaponizing what made you different. You've always felt things deeper than others, haven't you? You pick up on energy in rooms, sense people's true intentions before they reveal them, and carry emotions that aren't even yours. The demons saw your sensitivity, your empathy, your intuition, and they tried to convince you these were weaknesses. They made you feel crazy for knowing things you shouldn't know, weird for feeling things others couldn't feel, broken for being affected by energies most people ignore. So you tried to shut it down. You numbed yourself, built walls, pretended to be normal, and apologized for your depth. You called yourself too sensitive, like it was a disease that needed curing. But here's the truth that's been hidden from you. Those aren't flaws, chosen one. Those are spiritual weapons. Your ability to feel deeply means you can detect demonic attacks before they fully manifest. Your sensitivity to energy means you can discern who's sent by God and who's sent to distract you. Your intuition is literally divine intelligence flowing through your human experience. The demons lost this battle the moment you stopped trying to be like everyone else and started embracing what makes you different. You're not too much. You're exactly enough. And the gifts they tried to shame you for are the same gifts that will dismantle their entire operation. They made you watch others succeed while you struggled, but your timing is divine strategy. It's been brutal watching people who started after you cross finish lines you haven't even reached yet, hasn't it? Friends got the promotions, strangers went viral with ideas you've been sitting on, and people with half your talents somehow got twice the recognition. The demons orchestrated this specific torture because they know comparison is the thief of joy. They wanted you to believe God was blessing everyone except you, that you were being overlooked, forgotten, left behind. They turned your social media feed into a highlight reel of everyone else's wins, while you were still fighting just to survive. And it worked for a while. You questioned your worth, your work, your path. You wondered if you were doing something wrong, if God was punishing you, if maybe you just weren't meant to win. But what you couldn't see was the strategy behind your delay. While others were peaking early, you were being prepared for sustained success. While they were getting opportunities they weren't ready for, you were being trained for opportunities they could never handle. God wasn't withholding from you. He was protecting you from success that would have destroyed an unprepared version of you. The demons lost because your delayed victory is actually going to be so massive, so undeniable, that it will inspire generations. Your time isn't late. Your time is right on schedule. They attacked your reputation, but your character is writing a story they can't edit. Lies spread about you like wildfire, didn't they? People who barely knew you suddenly had detailed opinions about who you are. Your name got dragged through conversations you weren't present for. Stories got twisted, context got removed, your silence got interpreted as guilt. The demonic realm knew that if they could destroy your reputation, they could destroy your influence before you even stepped into it. So they used gossip as a weapon, turning casual conversations into character assassinations. They made sure the rumors reached people who mattered. Potential employers, future connections, family members who were already skeptical of you. And you felt powerless because how do you fight invisible accusations? How do you defend yourself against lies that spread faster than the truth? Here's what happened while your name was being slandered. Your actual character was being observed by the people who truly matter. God was taking notes on how you responded when falsely accused. The universe was watching you choose grace over revenge, silence over retaliation, and integrity over vindication. And slowly, undeniably, the truth started surfacing on its own. The demons lost because reputation is what people think of you, but character is who you actually are, and character always, eventually, speaks louder than slander. They convinced you that you were behind, but you were actually being hidden for protection. You felt late to everything, haven't you? Late to success, late to love, late to purpose, late to the life you thought you'd be living by now. Everyone else seemed to figure it out in their 20s, but here you are, still piecing things together, starting over, trying to catch up. The enemy used that feeling of being behind to make you rush, panic, settle, and compromise. They wanted you moving in anxiety instead of moving in alignment. They needed you to make decisions from a place of desperation rather than divine timing. So they surrounded you with people who peaked early, making your slower journey feel like failure. But chosen one, what if you were never behind? What if you were being hidden? God hides his most valuable treasures until the exact moment they're needed. You were being concealed from attacks you weren't ready to handle, opportunities that would have derailed you, connections that would have compromised you. While others were visible and vulnerable, you were invisible and invincible. The demons lost this battle because all that time you thought was wasted was actually time invested in becoming someone who can't be shaken when success finally arrived. You're not late, you're right on time. And when you emerge, it's going to be undeniable. They tried to make you bitter, but you're becoming wiser instead. After everything you've endured, you had every right to become cold, cynical, and closed off. The betrayals, the losses, the unanswered prayers, the repeated disappointments, the demonic strategy was to turn your pain into poison. They wanted your heart to harden, your trust to shatter, your hope to die. Because a bitter chosen one is a compromised chosen one. Bitterness blocks blessings, repels authentic connections, and keeps you stuck in the energy of past wounds. So they kept reopening old hurts, reminding you of who did you wrong, whispering that vulnerability is weakness and trust is foolish. They painted forgiveness as naive and boundaries as cold. And for a moment, you almost bought it. You almost let the pain turn you into someone unrecognizable. But something divine intervened. Instead of becoming bitter, you started becoming discerning. Instead of closing your heart, you started guarding it with wisdom. Instead of losing faith in people, you gained clarity about which people deserve access to you. The demons lost because suffering didn't make you cruel, it made you conscious. Every wound became a lesson. Every betrayal became a boundary. Every disappointment became discernment. You're not bitter, chosen one. You're battle-tested. And there's a massive difference. They silenced your voice, but your words are about to shake foundations. You used to speak freely, didn't you? You shared your thoughts, your beliefs, your perspectives without hesitation. Then something happened. You got criticized, misunderstood, and attacked for what you said. Maybe you were told you talk too much, think too deeply, and question too boldly. The enemy saw the power in your voice and decided to silence it before you realized what you were capable of saying. So they used shame, ridicule, and rejection to make you shut down. They turned every conversation into a minefield where you second-guessed every word. You started prefacing your opinions with apologies, shrinking your vocabulary, and dimming your expression. You stopped contributing in meetings, stopped posting your thoughts, and stopped speaking your truth because the cost of being heard felt too high. But while you were silent, something was happening in the spiritual realm. Your words were being refined like gold in fire. Your message was being purified, sharpened, and loaded with authority. God was teaching you the difference between speaking to fill space and speaking to shift atmospheres. The demons lost because your silence wasn't defeat, it was preparation. And when you finally open your mouth again, kingdoms will shake, chains will break, and people will wake up. Your voice isn't just coming back. It's coming back loaded with power they never saw before. They made you feel unworthy of love, but you're learning you were never meant to earn it. This wound goes deep, doesn't it? Somewhere along the way, you internalized the belief that love is something you have to deserve, earn, or prove yourself worthy of receiving. Maybe it started in childhood with conditional affection. Maybe it continued through relationships where you had to perform, be perfect, and sacrifice yourself to be chosen. The demonic forces saw this wound and exploited it viciously. They sent people who made you jump through hoops for breadcrumbs of affection. They kept you in situations where you gave everything and received nothing, convincing you that's just what love costs. You became an expert at earning, proving, and convincing people of your value. You tolerated disrespect because you believed that's what you deserved. You stayed in places you should have left because you thought leaving meant admitting you weren't enough. But here's the truth that's breaking every chain right now. Love is not a reward for good behavior. Love is your birthright. You didn't have to earn your first breath, and you don't have to earn genuine love. God's love for you is unconditional, and any human love that requires you to betray yourself is not real love, it's manipulation. The demons lost because you're finally understanding that you're not too much or not enough. You're a whole universe, and the right people will love you without making you shrink. They weaponized your kindness, but you're learning boundaries are spiritual warfare. You've always been the helper, the giver, the one who shows up even when it costs you. Your kindness is genuine, your compassion is real, and your willingness to serve comes from a pure place. But the demonic realm identified your kindness as an access point. They sent takers disguised as friends, energy vampires disguised as people in need, manipulators disguised as victims. These people drained you dry while calling it friendship. They demanded your time, energy, resources, and emotional labor without ever reciprocating. And because you're kind, you gave. You gave until you were empty. You showed up until you burned out. You carried burdens that were never yours to carry because saying no felt selfish. The enemy convinced you that boundaries were unkind, that self-preservation was selfish, that protecting your peace was somehow unchristian or unspiritual. They kept you overextended, exhausted, and resentful, which is exactly where they wanted you, too tired to fulfill your actual purpose. But something has shifted recently. You're learning that boundaries aren't walls, they're gates. They don't keep love out, they keep disrespect out. Saying no to what drains you is saying yes to what aligns you. The demons lost this battle because your kindness is no longer a weakness they can exploit. It's now a gift you strategically give to those who value it. You're not becoming mean, you're becoming wise. They made you fear your own power, but you're realizing fear was the only thing holding you back. Something is terrifying about stepping into who you truly are, isn't there? It's not the failure that scares you, it's the success. It's not the rejection, it's the acceptance. Deep down, you know what you're capable of, and that knowing is absolutely frightening because with great power comes great responsibility. The demons understand this, so they've spent years making you afraid of your own potential. They showed you examples of powerful people who lost themselves, crashed, burned out, or became corrupt. They whispered that visibility means vulnerability, that success means sacrifice, that power means loneliness. So you played small, you dimmed your light, you sabotaged yourself right before breakthroughs because staying small felt safer than becoming who you're meant to be. You procrastinated on dreams, hesitated on opportunities, and talked yourself out of risks because fear convinced you that the version of you that wins is somehow dangerous. But here's what's being revealed. Your power isn't dangerous to you. It's only dangerous to the systems and structures that benefit from your silence. Your power doesn't corrupt, it liberates. The demons lost because you're finally understanding that the fear of your own greatness is the last chain they have on you. And once you break that chain, there's absolutely nothing that can contain what you're about to become. They tried to steal your joy, but you're finding it in places they can't reach. Joy has been hard to access lately, hasn't it? Not happiness, that's circumstantial, but real joy, that deep soul-level peace that doesn't need a reason to exist. The enemy has been attacking your joy specifically because joyful people are dangerous to darkness. People who can praise in pain, worship in warfare, and smile through storms are people who cannot be defeated. So they sent depression that felt like a heavy blanket you couldn't shake off. They sent anxiety that made your mind race with worst-case scenarios. They sent numbness that made you feel disconnected from everything you used to love. They turned your favorite songs into background noise, your passions into obligations, your faith into routine. And for a season, they succeeded in stealing the light from your eyes. But something supernatural is happening right now. You're finding joy in the smallest things. A sunrise you actually stopped to notice, a conversation that made you laugh until your stomach hurt, a moment of silence that felt like heaven. You're rediscovering that joy isn't in the big victories. It's in the sacred ordinary. The demons lost because they cannot control your circumstances, but they cannot touch the joy that comes from simply being alive, being chosen, and being loved by the Creator of the universe. Your joy is coming back, chosen one, and this time, it's rooted so deep that nothing external can ever steal it again. They made you believe you were alone, but you've been surrounded by angels you couldn't see. The loneliness has been crushing, hasn't it? Not just physical solitude, but that soul-deep feeling that nobody truly understands what you're going through. You'd be in rooms full of people and still feel completely isolated. You'd share your struggles and watch eyes glaze over with polite disinterest. The demonic forces orchestrated this specific type of isolation because they know that a chosen one who feels abandoned is easier to manipulate. They wanted you to believe that God had forgotten you, that heaven had moved on to someone more worthy, that you were fighting battles with no backup. So they muted the signs, blocked the synchronicities, and made every day feel like you were walking through life completely unsupported. You cried prayers into the void, wondering if anyone was even listening. You fought battles, wondering why no help ever came. But here's what was actually happening in the realm you couldn't see. You've been surrounded by angelic protection this entire time. Every car accident that almost happened but didn't, every destructive decision you almost made but something stopped you, every rock bottom that could have been lower but something caught you, that was divine intervention. The demons lost because while they were making you feel abandoned, heaven was running interference on attacks you never even knew were coming. You were never alone, chosen one. You were never unsupported. You were just being protected so thoroughly that you couldn't see the battles being fought on your behalf. They convinced you that rest was laziness, but exhaustion was their greatest weapon. You've been running on empty for how long now? Years maybe? The demonic realm planted a specific lie deep in your psyche, that your value is tied to your productivity, that rest is something you have to earn, that stopping means you're falling behind. So you pushed through exhaustion, ignored your body's warnings, and wore burnout like a badge of honor. You celebrated all-nighters, bragged about how little sleep you got, and turned self-sacrifice into a personality trait. Meanwhile, your nervous system was screaming, your adrenal glands were failing, and your body was breaking down in ways you kept ignoring. The enemy knew that an exhausted chosen one can't hear God clearly, can't make wise decisions, can't sustain the energy needed for spiritual warfare. They needed you tired because tired people are easier to deceive, manipulate, and defeat. So they glorified the grind, romanticized the hustle, and made rest look like weakness. But something is shifting in your understanding right now. You're realizing that God rested on the seventh day not because he was tired, but to set a standard. Rest isn't laziness, it's resistance. When you rest, you're telling the enemy that your worth isn't tied to your output. The demons lost because you're finally understanding that the most productive thing you can do is protect your peace. Your rest is an act of spiritual warfare. They sent false prophets to mislead you, but discernment became your superpower. You've encountered them, haven't you? People who spoke with authority about your life, your future, your purpose, but something felt off. Maybe they told you exactly what you wanted to hear, promising breakthrough after breakthrough that never came. Maybe they used spiritual language to manipulate you into giving, serving, or staying in toxic situations. Maybe they claimed to have a word from God for you that left you feeling confused, condemned, or controlled rather than empowered. The demonic strategy was sophisticated. Send messengers who look like angels of light, who speak the language of faith, who perform just enough accuracy to gain your trust. Then slowly, subtly, lead you away from your true path. They wanted you dependent on external voices, so you'd stop trusting your internal knowing. They wanted you chasing prophetic words instead of cultivating your own relationship with God. And for a season, it worked. You gave your power away to people who claimed to have access to divine information you couldn't access yourself. But here's what developed through that painful experience. Your discernment became razor sharp. You can now feel the difference between a genuine prophetic word and manipulative fortune-telling. You can sense when someone is operating from ego versus spirit. The demons lost because they thought false prophets would lead you astray, but instead they trained you to trust your own connection to God above all other voices. They made you ashamed of your desires, but your desires were divine assignments in disguise. There are things you want that you've been afraid to admit, even to yourself, dreams that feel too big, too selfish, too impossible. Maybe it's wealth that makes you uncomfortable wanting because you were taught that money is evil. Maybe it's love that feels greedy to desire because you're supposed to be complete alone. Maybe it's recognition that seems vain to pursue because humility means staying hidden. The enemy saw these desires planted in your heart by God Himself, and he convinced you to be ashamed of them. He used religion to make you feel guilty for wanting more, used spirituality to make ambition seem unenlightened, and used false humility to keep you playing small. So you buried your desires, called them distractions, and apologized for wanting what your soul was literally created to pursue. You watched others unapologetically chase their dreams while you stayed stuck in noble suffering, believing that sacrifice was more holy than satisfaction. But here's the revelation that's breaking every religious chain. God doesn't plant desires in your heart just to torture you with impossibilities. Your desires are the breadcrumbs leading you toward your destiny. That hunger for more isn't greed, it's divine dissatisfaction with anything less than what you were created for. The demons lost because you're finally permitting yourself to want what you want without shame, apology, or justification. Your desires aren't distractions from your purpose. They are your purpose calling you forward. Chosen one, if you're still watching this, it's not an accident. You were meant to hear every single word of this message. While the world was trying to convince you that you're ordinary, breakable, and defeated, the universe was orchestrating every moment to bring you to this exact revelation. The demons have been losing battles you couldn't see, and your victory was secured before the war even started. Every attack that didn't destroy you was a testimony being written. Every night you survived was a chapter in a story that will set others free. Every tear you cried was a seed being planted for a harvest you're about to walk into. You are not who they said you were. You are not the sum of your mistakes, your struggles, or your darkest moments. You are a warrior wrapped in flesh, a divine assignment disguised as a human being, a walking miracle that hell tried to stop and heaven refused to let fall. The battles you couldn't see weren't fought in vain. They were fought to protect the destiny you're about to step into. And now that you know the truth, now that you see the warfare that's been happening on your behalf, you can move forward with the confidence of someone who understands they're backed by forces more powerful than anything this realm can produce. So here's what I need you to do. If this message resonated with your spirit, if you felt seen, validated, and reminded of who you truly are, hit that like button right now. Not for the algorithm, but as a declaration to the spiritual realm that you acknowledge the truth of what's been spoken here. Your like is your agreement with heaven that you are chosen, protected, and victorious. Drop a comment below and tell me which section hit you the hardest. Tell me which battle you didn't even know was being fought on your behalf. Your testimony in the comments will be the confirmation someone else needs to keep fighting. And subscribe to this channel, because this is not just content. This is a community of chosen ones who are done playing small, done apologizing for their power, and done letting demons tell them who they are. When you subscribe, you're joining a movement of warriors who see the invisible battles and choose to stand anyway. You are not alone in this. You are surrounded by a community that understands the warfare, celebrates the victory, and refuses to let you forget who you are. The demons have been losing, chosen one, and now it's time for you to start winning in ways everyone can see. Your breakthrough is not coming, it's already here. Walk in it, own it, and never forget, you were built for this. Now go show them what indestructible looks like. Amen.